Minecraft 1.16's Nether update is finally here, and we have compiled a list of 100 additions as well as changes to your favorite blocky game that we're going to be covering in today's video, and we're going to be doing it very, very quickly. Alright guys, we start with ancient debris. This is a very rare new type of ore that can only be found in the Nether that you'll be able to harvest only with a diamond pickaxe. You'll be able to take this ancient debris and cook it inside of a furnace. Once you cook it, you'll get netherite scraps, which you can use in order to make netherite. You can combine netherite scraps alongside gold ingots in order to get a netherite ingot. What's more, netherite ingots are lava-proof. And you'll be able to use the netherite ingots on the updated smithing tables. They now have a use. Simply take various diamond gear, tools, weaponry, add it alongside a netherite ingot to the smithing table to get netherite gear, the new strongest armor, weapons, and tools found in-game. They have knockback resistance as well as awesome armor toughness degrees. Plus, the sword is stronger than its diamond counterpart, and all of the tools move much faster than their diamond counterparts. And similar to the ingots in question, these guys are also lava-proof. Or you can take a whole bunch of netherite ingots and turn them into a block of netherite. Not only is it a cool looking block, but it is also extremely blast resistant, even being able to withstand the destruction of some nearby TNT. /locate biome is a new command added in the Nether update. Very simple but powerful. You can use it to identify nearby biomes. Worth noting, you can also use it in the overworld as well. Speaking of biomes, there's been a new one added, the Crimson Forest biome, and this contains Crimson Nylium, which is a new form of netherrack that you'll be able to find inside the biome. What's more, you can use bone meal on regular netherrack in order to turn it into Crimson Nylium. There are also crimson stems and planks coming from the trees found within this biome, in the new form of wood. You can use it, mine it down with your axe, strip it using your axe, or of course turn it into various new types of planks. Crimson planks to be exact. There are also variants of these crimson stems. As you saw, there's a stripped version, or you can make hyphae, which is the equivalent of a bark block, by placing all 4 stems together like that in order to get a block that is covered on all sides with this texture. Furthermore, you can strip this to get an all texture-sided color of the stripped version too. There's also crimson foliage in the form of crimson roots that will generate on the ground all over the biome, which you can place manually as well as crimson fungus that you'll find in areas all over the biome. You can even use bone meal on it to turn it into another tree. We've also got weeping vines that will grow in the biome that you can use to climb up and down to further add detail to your worlds. Shroom Lights are a new source of light found inside of some of these different plants. They essentially act as a variant to glowstone. Moving on, we've also got the Warped Forest biome, complete with its own unique things as well, such as Warped Nylium, which works similarly to the Crimson Nylium and also can be used with bone meal. And in a similar matter, we've got warped stems and planks, which work the same as the crimson stems in that you chop them down, and they can be turned into wood, which, by the way, is entirely fireproof. Naturally, we've got our variants once again, the stripped version, the hyphae version, which is covered on all sides, made in the same way as the crimson hyphae, and of course the stripped version of the hyphae too. We also have various foliage found in this area as well, including these awesome warped roots, as well as warped fungus, which we'll be able to use for something else later on, but works similarly to the crimson fungus in that you can grow more stems with them. We also have warped sprouts, which act as a sort of nether grass found from within the biome. Oddly enough, there is no crimson variant of this block, warped exclusive. We also have twisting vines, which are vines that grow upwards from the ground and can also be climbed. Like the other vines, bone meal can be used on these in order to grow them taller. We have warped wart blocks, which are blue variants of the nether wart blocks, and they act as the sort of leaves to these warped and crimson trees. Our next new biome is the soulsand valley biome. We'll go there right now so we can check out new blocks. Basalt pillars, which naturally generate all over this biome and can be mined using a pickaxe. There are also numerous variants of the basalt, namely the fact that you can actually craft them in a 2x2 to get polished basalt, which has a slightly different texture to it. You can see the difference right here. Also, interestingly enough, there's a way of generating basalt all by yourself. By placing down blue ice and having lava generate underneath it, you actually have an infinite source of basalt at your disposal. We move on to Soulfire, which is a new fire variant that is colored blue. This occurs when you use a flint and steel, fire charge, etc. on soul sand, soul soil. Normal fire, red. Use it on these soul blocks, get blue fire. We have soul torches as well, which are blue variants of the regular torches and which can be made using soul sand, sticks, and coal. And we also have soul lanterns, a blue variant of lanterns, which you can make by using a soul torch surrounded by 8 iron nuggets. And naturally, we've got soul campfire as well. It's the same deal as torches and lanterns, but you can cook with it, just like regular campfires. To make it, you'll need 3 oak logs or various logs, some sticks, as well as some soul sand. Get to cooking. Soul soil is a new block that is a twinsies with the soul sand. It's like soul sand, but it doesn't slow you down when you walk on it. Another new biome, the Basalt Deltas biome, which has its own plethora of things, such as, well, first of all, a hot tourist apparently, but more importantly, it's also got blackstone, the Nether's version of cobblestone. It's a new stone variant found all over this biome, and you can use this blackstone for various different things, such as polished blackstone, chiseled blackstone, gilded blackstone, which is a source of gold when you mine it from time to time, polished blackstone bricks, cracked polished blackstone bricks, as well as slabs, stairs, buttons, pressure plates, walls, and more. You can also use blackstone to craft stone items. Since it is just a stone variant, you can actually use it to make things like furnaces, pickaxes, etc., which now makes full-blown survival in the Nether a reality. We move on to chains, a brand new decorative block. You can also make these, but more importantly, you can find them in certain dungeons found in the Nether. To make them, you'll need iron nuggets and an iron ingot. We also have new Nether brick variants. You know this block that you've come to know and love? Well, there are now cracked and chiseled variants that will go alongside the regular type of these blocks. And updates to quartz blocks as well. Yet another quartz variant that you can craft, this time using a stone cutter. We can turn quartz blocks into quartz brick blocks. Finally. There's now plenty of gold to be found within Netherrack in the form of Nether Gold Ore. It's a new source of gold found in the Nether. When you mine it, you'll get gold nuggets instead of ingots, and you'll get varying amounts dependent on what your luck is. We have new Lodestone Blocks. You can craft these by using chiseled stone bricks as well as netherite ingots. And not only does it serve as a cool decorative block, but you can also use it with compasses in order to make a system that will have the compass pointing to the lodestone. All you'll need to do is take a compass, right-click a lodestone with it, and now this compass will point to that lodestone at all times. Great for navigating around the Nether. The target block is a new redstone block device crafted using redstone and hay, and it can be used to send out pulses of redstone dependent on your accuracy, where if you hit it right in the center, it will light things up further down, and if you don't, its power is not as effective. Hoglins are a new type of hostile mob found within the Nether. They're a source of pork chops as well as leather, and you can use crimson fungus to breed them together to make baby hoglins, or you can scare them away by placing down warped fungus nearby. Easy does it, guys. Another new mob, zoglins, appear when you take a hoglin and bring it to the overworld. These are extremely aggressive creatures that will attack anything nearby, not just the player. Piglins have replaced zombie pigmen in Minecraft, and they can be found spawning all over the Nether. You can keep them from attacking you by wearing gold gear of some sort, but if you open a chest nearby them or mine any gold blocks nearby them, they will get angry regardless of what you're wearing. But you can also barter with these guys, and you can right-click a piglin with some gold, and they will trade items to you in exchange. Here's an example of us bartering with one of these piglins in question. We just need to give them a gold ingot. They'll actually begin to look at it for a little bit, and then they will trade you something in return. What you got for me? Ooh, magma cream. There's also zombified piglins, which are the closest thing we have to zombie pigmen from the previous version of the game. These guys, oh boy, zombie piglins will only attack you if you attack them first. Doesn't matter if you're wearing any gold armor on or not. Piglins will become zombified when they go to the overworld. You can barter with piglins to get crying obsidian, which is a new type of obsidian that can be found from bartering, from bastions, or in chests where ruined portals are found. And if you use 6 crying obsidian alongside 3 glowstone blocks, you can make a respawn anchor, which when filled with glowstone will actually allow you to set your spawn in the Nether upon right click. Ruined portals are structures that can be found in the Nether as well as the overworld, showing off remnants of once created Nether portals, and they are oftentimes decorated with various different stone blocks, gold blocks, and loot that you can get from time to time of numerous different types of golden apples, gear, tools, etc. Bastion remnants are a new type of dungeon that are found within the Nether. Here's one now. They're typically large structures, commonly found with lots of chests, loots, and various different areas for you to explore from within. Be careful when looting though, because these places are oftentimes overrun with tons of piglins as well as hoglins. There are 4 different types of loot that you can be found within a bastion. The first one is loot found on the bastion bridge. The next is loot found in the hoglin's stable. The next is loot found in various other parts of the bastion. And of course there is the bastion treasure chest, which oftentimes has the best gear to be found within the bastion itself. Halfway done with the piglin banner pattern, which you can find inside of bastion loot, and you can use to decorate your banners found in game numerous different types of colors. You can also find a new music disc in these bastions, and it looks quite different from the normal music disc you'd find in game, and it features a brand new song, which you can find a link to in the description of today's video. We have another new mob, the Strider. This guy can be found spawning throughout the world and can also be saddled so that you can ride on top of it. Did I mention that they walk on lava, by the way? You can control their movement with a warped fungus on a stick by using a warped fungus and a fishing rod together in order to craft this thing. So don't mind if I do. We're gonna head right over this lava so you can see how this movement works. Very exciting. Nether Fossils are new structures found within the Nether, most commonly throughout the Soulsand Valley, and feature some of Minecraft's most ancient mob remnants. Here's a few examples of what they look like in game. Soul Speed is a new enchantment that you can place on your boots. They'll let you walk on top of soul sand as well as soul soil at an increased movement speed. I mean, check this out. It's like a built-in speed potion. There have been upgrades to beacons. Namely, you can use the new netherite blocks in order to power beacons, and you can even use netherite ingots to power the special abilities that you get by activating the beacon in question. Don't mind if I do. I'm gonna choose haste. There have been a couple item renames. Namely, clay has been renamed to clay ball. And internally, in the game files, bamboo saplings are now known as bamboo shoots. We now have easier game rule and difficulty access when making a new world. From the single player menu, you can click Create New World and then go to Game Rules to be able to choose between a whole bunch of new options for your brand new world. TNT and campfires can now be more reliably lit using projectiles. In this case, we've got a flame bow that we're going to use to ignite these campfires, as well as some of this TNT. Oh, well, that's a Strider. As well as some of this TNT right over here. Let her rip! There have been upgrades to walls. Different things now make wall posts when attached, such as in this case, iron bars, stained glass, and even banners. On top of that, walls now connect more seamlessly between blocks than they ever did before. No more holes. Dispensers have seen upgrades. They can now be used to do a lot more, such as in this case, shearing a mushroom. Get on in there, shear. They can even be used to equip horses with saddles and armor. A new slash attribute command that you can use to modify your stats without needing to use items. Check out my health. I now have 1 heart, despite me not actually wearing any gear. And now, I have 100 hearts. Let's go back to normal. Lava now pushes entities. It never used to before, but now, in theory, it will slowly push them down to wherever this is going. Hey, buddy, how you doing down there? Sorry, man, you gotta go. Structure blocks have seen upgrades. Before this update, they could only store 32 by 32 by 32 space. They've now been upgraded to do 48, 48, and 48. Visually speaking, the cyan is the old former space limit, and the gold is the new space limit. Hoes got upgrades, baby. You can now enchant them with various enchants, efficiency, silk touch, as well as fortune, and each tier has a different mining speed. They can now be used to harvest various new types of blocks as the most effective way, such as sponge, seaweed blocks, warped and regular crimson nether warp block. I forgot what they're called for a second. Shroom light, hay, leaves, etc. They're now the best way to gather all of these items. Upgrades to item frames, an invisibility tag that you can use to make items look as though they're freestanding, as well as a fixed tag that prevents them from being used and or broken. Punching these does nothing. Changes to NBT text so that you can specify fonts you use in order to do really cool things, such as the sword, whatever that says. The sword. You can even use different colors in hex form and in Telra as well. A lot more options. All new sorts of nether music from Basalt Deltas, as well as from Crimson Forest. We've got Nether Wastes, Soulsand Valley, Warped. I'll go ahead and let you guys look that up on YouTube if you want to listen. Fire now has a loot table, which means you can do things like what we saw earlier and literally break it. You can now customize it using commands and data packs to make it drop whatever you want. Maybe you want to bring things back to the good old days and literally create some chain armor using it. New custom world generation. You can import and export your world gen settings as well as make new custom world types. Found in your world creation options, you can choose between single biomes, caves, and floating island types, as well as the biome in question you want to use for that world generation. There's also now the ability to have custom dimensions within your game. You can use them and import them however you please. And what you're going to do now is see us teleport to a mirror version of this nether world. As you can see over here, it is literally the same area that we were back in just a second ago, with this area being completely lit and unlit. So we're going to go ahead and go back to that dimension so that we can move on to our next one. Number 73, changes to redstone. New defaults into the cross, but you can right click it if you don't like it to change it back to this little circular splat that you've probably gotten used to. In addition, changing it actually will impact the way that the redstone interacts with other nearby blocks that are capable of being powered by it. Using F3 and F4 in tandem with one another, you can very easily switch between game modes by cycling through at a moment's notice to go to adventure mode, spectator mode, creative mode, and of course back to survival. Changes to Enderman. They'll no longer pick up netherrack, so you won't really see them doing this anymore. You've probably been seeing new advancements pop up throughout this video. Well, as you can see here, we're going to go ahead and give ourselves access to all of them at once. And as you can see here, they are all displayed at the same time. Changes to pistons. Their hardness has been increased, and on top of that, levers and etc. will not break on the side of them, or on the back of them rather, but on the sides they still will. Repeller Textures were very slightly changed. This was actually a parity change to make them match the ones found in Bedrock. Plenty of new ambient sounds found all throughout the Nether. Here's an example of some of those. Ooh, lovely. Yeah, stop. Bee's wander distance has been changed. It's been changed from its home hive and has been reduced to around 20 blocks, so it will now stay within that area compared to where it used to be able to go to. A new trigger for items being used on blocks. It will trigger when an item is used on a block, such as this key. Normally, you need to use that. Well, it's locked. How about now? Much better. New particle effects. Here's an example of ash particles, an example of obsidian tear particles, soul fire flames, and of course, warped spores. Changes to snow. Some of these blocks could not be placed previously on full snow layers, such as redstone, buttons, doors, etc. Rails, they all can. Again, these are not snow blocks. If you look on my F3, they are snow layers. This is a snow block. If you look to the right there, you'll see the difference. A new trigger for generating loot. It will trigger when a chest with certain loot is opened. Look at that. A new trigger for when mobs pick up certain types of items. Go ahead, don't mind if I do. Here, why don't you enjoy this thing, baby? Go on. Yeah. A block tag for establishing if a beacon base is in-game or not, which means you can now use any block if you wanted as a base for a beacon, but this is done with commands, so you won't be able to do it in survival mode. Damn it. A new climbable tag that you can add with commands. It lets you change the type of blocks you can climb. We've made air climbable right here. Check this out. A new tag for furnace materials. It lets you change the blocks that you can use in order to craft a furnace. A new tag you can add to change when and when not striders will freeze in-game. Come on over here, buddy. Go on. Much better. Normally this wouldn't happen. Oh well, friend. A new death message has been added for dying from a firework. Yikes. Don't mind if I grab a couple of these, huh? Boom, boom, boom. I went off with a bang. A new tag for soul speed blocks. It will change the blocks that are compatible with the soul speed enchantment that we saw before. Now we've added it to gold blocks. A tag for which blocks piglins will guard. We've made it so that they get mad if you mine wool. A new tag for which items piglins love. So go ahead, take the diamonds, baby. I know you won't sit. Yeah. I dig it. A tag to determine what blocks will emit blue flames when you use a flint and steel on them. A new tag which allows you to choose which items are used in order to craft stone tools. Right, imagine if this was the actual recipe. A tag to determine what hoglins are scared of so that it's no longer just warped fungi, but instead is levers, or whatever you want. A new fox sound event, which you can now use when they teleport with chorus fruit. Listen in. This guy's gonna teleport around. No. Take your sweet time, baby. It's okay. I know you're hungry. Go on. Oh. Hilarious. New sounds for bone blocks for when you're walking on them, as well as for when you're mining them. And lastly, a tag that will let you change which blocks you need in order to summon in the Wither. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Nether Update, Minecraft 1.16, 100 new changes. Let us know which was your favorite in the comment section below, and we will see you later.